Because of the versatility, having an adjustable weight bench is one of the best investments you can make for your home gym. And Rep Fitness makes some of my favorite adjustable benches on the market. But there's two in particular that stick out compared to the rest. I'm talking about the BlackWing and the AB-5000. These benches are similar in nature, but there are some differences that might make you lean to one over the other. So I think you know what time it is today. It's time for me to compare the two and help you decide which one to buy. Let's get to it. What's up everybody, it's Jake back in the BarBend garage gym, and for today's video, I'm gonna spend some time talking about two of Rep's best weight benches, the BlackWing and the AB-5000. There's a lot to like about both of these benches, but you can definitely make the case for one being better than the other. So my job today is to help you decide which one to purchase. But before I do all of that, I just wanna make sure you guys know that we've reviewed a lot of other weight benches on BarBend.com, and we went ahead and made our own best list. So if you wanna check that out, all you gotta do is search BarBend Best Weight Benches. That article is gonna pull right up and you can browse our top picks. Okay, so I mentioned that these benches are similar in nature, and that's definitely true. There's a lot more differences than there are similarities. So let's talk about the similarities first. These are both 11 gauge steel weight benches, so they have 1,000-pound weight capacity. They're FID benches, meaning flat, incline, and decline. And they both have, Rep's patented ZeroGap mechanism for the seat. That way there's zero pad gap between the seat and the back pad, regardless of what angle you're working with, which is pretty much a lifesaver. I think we all can agree that, dealing with that awkward pad gap is just not the most fun and enjoyable thing in the world, okay? Now, when it comes to those differences, all right, the main things here, Rep actually redesigned the ZeroGap mechanism, the knob, should I say, on the BlackWing. Okay, so with the AB-5000, it's underneath, the BlackWing, it's on the side, a little bit, easy accessible, I guess you could say, right? The actual adjustment styles are different. The BlackWing is a ladder style, while the AB-5000 is a pop pin style, and the amount of angles are different as well, which I'm gonna dig into in just a second. That could definitely play a factor in, which route you decide to go. The BlackWing has vertical storage, while the AB-5000 does not. Rep also redesigned their padding. So it's kind of hard for me to really be able to tell a difference because the AB-5000 just kind of has more wear on it. I've had it for a year and a half, if not longer than that, while with the BlackWing, I've had it for a handful of months. But they have this clean grip material. It's designed to grip you better and just kind of be more comfortable in general. So definitely remember that. Now, the front foot design on these, I like them both, but they're very different. So with the BlackWing, the front foot actually kind of resembles a wing, and then with the AB-5000, it's a little different. I don't even know what kind of shape you would describe it, but I like how on the AB-5000, you can get your feet closer together and kind of get more comfortable. But the BlackWing, I really enjoy that handle placement. I really like how it's out in front. I also enjoy the fact that it's got a stainless steel knurled handle. Easier, it's more accessible, easier to grab, and it also makes the weight feel lighter, all right? So the BlackWing weighs 130 pounds, while the AB-5000 is 110 pounds, but I gotta be honest, whenever I go to move both of these around, AB-5000 feels heavier, feels like it's the opposite. So definitely remember that, could come into effect in different ways. Definitely just don't forget it. The nature of the decline with these is also very different, okay? So I forgot to mention you can purchase a leg roller for both of these. It's the same one, it's not like they're different. That's gonna allow you to do decline sit-ups, Nordic curls, all that good stuff. But with AB-5000, it's a little funky, right? So to actually use this bench, as a decline bench, you're gonna have to get in it in reverse, if that makes sense. So your feet are gonna have to go at the top, your head's gonna have to be down where your seat goes, where the seat is, to do your decline bench presses. So something I really like about the BlackWing is that you get to sit in it normal and just lay back. It's a -8 degree, adjustment right there, and that allows you to do those decline presses. That's kind of my personal preference. The BlackWing has 6 colors, while the AB-5000 has 5, not that big of a deal. And then the BlackWing is also gonna cost you more money, all right? So I'm gonna dig into that in a little bit, but right now it's about 150 bucks more. Okay, so I kind of touched on it a second ago, but with the adjustments, it's very different, all right? So the BlackWing is a ladder style adjustment system, while the AB-5000 is a pop pin. The BlackWing also has more adjustments available, okay? So The back pad has 12 different angles from -8 to 85 degrees, while the seat pad has 6 different angles from -10 to 45 degrees. And with the AB-5000, you have 7 back pad angles from 0 to 90 degrees and 5 different seat pad angles from -15 to 45. Now, the actual framework of the AB-5000 is what's preventing the back pad from going to a declined position. But as I mentioned earlier, with the leg roller, you can turn this into an FID bench, okay? So I prefer, the BlackWing just because it's already built in. You don't have to, spend an extra 100, 110 bucks on that leg roller and then, kind of get into the bench in a funky position just to do some decline presses, but you can definitely still do it. It might take you a minute, to get the hang of it, but as I said, you can definitely still do it. Now, as far as which adjustment, process is the best, it's really just personal preference. I prefer the ladder style. I think it's easier to, read the laser engraved numbers on the actual, ladder, as opposed to, with the pop pin style with the AB-5000. Plus, I think it's easier to actually adjust it. If you want to, go from 0 to, 45 degrees, for example, you just grab the back of the pad and you can pull it up. Now with the AB-5000, you got to squat down, pull out the pin, crank it up. I know I'm being dramatic about it, but that's my personal preference, all right? And now with the seat pad, remember, they both have ZeroGap technology, so you don't have to deal with any pad gap whatsoever. I love that about these benches. I think that's what really, sets them apart from the rest of the pack. But with the BlackWing, I really like how the knob's on the side. It makes it a lot easier, if you're a little bit uncomfortable whenever you go to sit down. Sometimes whenever you're adjusting these, they have to be, separated a little bit to get the back pad, where you want it. And the fact that you can just be sitting on the actual padding and then just on the side right here and scoot up or back, whatever, it makes it just easier. It's not that bad with the AB-5000. You just reach underneath. It's just, a little bit more difficult, I guess. Now, just because I prefer the ladder style, it doesn't, mean that it's superior. It's just my personal preference. There's a lot of people out there, that prefer the pop pin style, and I definitely get that as well. And then when it comes, down to those angles, you get more versatility with the BlackWing, so that's definitely something that you want to keep in mind whenever you go to make your purchase, especially between these two. And speaking of making a purchase, remember the BlackWing is going to cost you more money. All right, so BlackWing's right around 600 bucks. With the AB-5000, it's listed as 600, but you got to strike through it and listed as 450. It's been that way for a while. I'm kind of assuming, what they say about assuming, you don't really want to do it all the time, but right now, I am kind of assuming that Rep's going to keep the AB-5000 around 450 bucks. 150 bucks, yeah, I mean, that's a significant gap, right? You can take that 150 and use it elsewhere, right? With an adjustable kettlebell system, maybe a new barbell, whatever it is, right? So, if money is really your main deciding factor between these two weight benches, then I mean, yeah, it probably does make the most sense to save that 150 and go after the AB-5000. But my opinion, 600 with the BlackWing, the quality of it, everything that it entails, it's not like you're getting robbed or anything like that. That's still a pretty solid price tag. Okay, so now it's kind of time for the hard part, right? And it's time to talk about which one you should buy. All right, so I personally don't think you can go wrong with either one of these weight benches. Just want to go ahead and throw that out there. But there's a few factors that you definitely need to prioritize. First being the money, all right? Both of these are kind of expensive, right? BlackWing, 600 bucks, AB-5000, 450. Now, the fact that Rep, does not charge for shipping is huge. That's one of my favorite things about Rep. But, 150 bucks, that's, like I mentioned a minute ago, that's a significant gap. You can do plenty of different things with 150 bucks. Like I said, wiggle room for your budget with your home gym equipment. Just stay within your budget. It's kind of it right there, right? Now, vertical storage is also, a big thing in my opinion. Now, it's not the case with everybody. Some people have a ton of room to work with, but a lot of people don't. So that vertical storage definitely comes into play. And the fact that the BlackWing has that is definitely, a plus, I would say. Another thing here, this is probably the most important in my opinion, is the actual adjustments that are available. You gotta worry about the adjustment style, which one you like the best, but the available adjustments is huge. Remember, you have 12 back pad adjustments with the BlackWing to 7 with the AB-5000. And then to do decline work, you have to attach the leg roller and then get in the AB-5000 in reverse order just to be able to work in those decline presses. So honestly, y'all, for me, the actual simplicity and ease of use, everything with the BlackWing just kind of, takes the cake for me here and kind of makes me go to the BlackWing over the AB-5000. But honestly, it's kind of like splitting hairs. And I definitely, once again, don't think you can go wrong with either one of these benches. Just prioritize your specific needs. That's all I got for y'all today on this comparison between the Rep Fitness BlackWing and the AB-5000. These are two of my favorite benches on the market. You can't go wrong with both of them, but as I mentioned, I kind of got to give the nod to the BlackWing just because of the simplicity. Thanks for hanging out with me. I hope this video was helpful and I was able to highlight everything you need to know about both of these benches. As always, stay posted for my next video. But for now, head over to BarBend.com because we have a full written article comparing these two benches. All you got to do is search BarBend Rep BlackWing versus AB-5000 and it's going to pull right up for you. I'll catch y'all next time.